Writing skills, sentences. A sentence is a group of words giving a complete thought. A sentence must contain a subject and a verb, although one may be implied. For example, the cat sat on the mat. Here, the subject is the cat and the verb is sat. The words convey a complete thought. This is a sentence. The 4 types of sentences. A sentence can convey a statement, a question, an exclamation, or a command. There are 4 types of sentence. 1. A declarative sentence. A declarative sentence states a fact and ends with a period, full stop. For example, he has every attribute of a dog except loyalty. Politician Thomas P. Gore. 2. Imperative sentence. An imperative sentence is a command or a polite request. It ends with an exclamation mark or a period, full stop. For example, when a dog runs at you, whistle for him. Philosopher Henry David Thoreau, 1817 to 1862. 3. Interrogative sentence. An interrogative sentence asks a question and ends with a question mark. For example, who knew that dog's saliva can mend a broken heart? Author Jennifer Neal. 4. Exclamatory sentence. An exclamatory sentence expresses excitement or emotion. It ends with an exclamation mark. For example, in Washington, it's dog eat dog. In academia, it's exactly the opposite. Politician Robert Reich. The subject could be implied. In an imperative sentence, an order, or an interrogative sentence, a question, the subject or verb is often implied. Run. Go. The 4 sentence structures. A sentence can consist of a single clause or several clauses. When a sentence is a single clause, it is called a simple sentence, and the clause is called an independent clause. A sentence must contain at least one independent clause. Below are the 4 types of sentence structure, with their independent clauses shaded. 1. Simple sentence. A simple sentence has just one independent clause. For example, you can't surprise a man with a dog. Screenwriter Cindy Chupak. 2. Complex sentence. A complex sentence has an independent clause and at least one dependent clause. For example, diplomacy is the art of saying, nice doggy, until you can find a rock. Actor Will Rogers, 1879 to 1935. 3. Compound sentence. A compound sentence has at least 2 independent clauses. For example, cry, havoc, and let slip the dogs of war. Playwright William Shakespeare, 1564 to 1616. 4. Compound complex sentence. A compound complex sentence has at least 2 independent clauses and at least one dependent clause. For example, when a dog bites a man, that is not news because it happens so often, but if a man bites a dog, that is news. Editor John B. Bogart. Why understanding sentences is important. There are 4 great reasons to understand sentence structures and the types of the sentence. 1. Avoid the run-on sentence. By far the most common mistake made by people with otherwise sound writing skills is the run-on sentence. Typically, this error is caused by writing a sentence, putting a comma, and then writing another sentence. I love the mountains, they remind me of home. Wrong. 2. Punctuate your sentences correctly. Understanding the 4 sentence structures assists with deciding how to punctuate sentences. More specifically, it assists with the following 2 common decisions. A. deciding whether to use a comma with the subordinate clause in a complex sentence. Here are some examples. When I was 6, I had a wind-up Evil Knievel motorbike. I had a wind-up Evil Knievel motorbike when I was 6. B. Deciding whether to put a comma before a conjunction. Here are some examples. Lee likes pies and cakes. There is no comma before and. This is a simple sentence. Lee likes pies and he likes cakes. This time, there is a comma before and. This is a compound sentence. 3. As the subject of an imperative sentence is you. You can't use myself. If you have any questions, email myself or your line manager. Wrong. The subject of an imperative sentence is you, which is usually implied, i.e., not said or written. This means you cannot use myself, which requires the subject to be I. Writers often use myself, believing it sounds more highbrow. It's wrong. It should be me. 4. Don't use a question mark with a declarative sentence that includes an indirect question. She asked whether I loved her. Wrong. The bolded texts are indirect questions. These are declarative sentences, i.e., statements, not questions. They should end in periods, full stop.